sport. You know, it's unfortunately what happened, and no one wants it. I didn't actually see it because we were doing an interview in the room, and I come out and I heard about it. No one wants that happening, but both the guys have apologised.
I don't know why he's got away with it. I know they're trying to brush it under the carpet and quieten it down, but it's not going to go away because everybody thinks it's disgusting. I've already given my opinion.
It's like if someone fell out with my dad, I don't think I could be friends with them. You know, if someone said something bad or fell out with my dad, I'd probably want to hurt them as well.
Everyone thought this was just another boxing event, until total chaos exploded outside the ring. One shove, one angry reaction, and suddenly the entire fight world was talking about JohnFury, EddieHall, and the madness surrounding Tommy Fury's biggest crossover showdown yet. FrankWarren called it embarrassing. Carl Frock blasted JohnFury for acting like a street thug. Simon Jordan said the chaos was completely out of control, and Eddie Hearn admitted something shocking. Even when moments like this look ugly, they make the public more interested. But here's the real question nobody can ignore. Is this still boxing, or has it become pure entertainment chaos? Because while the drama outside the ring keeps exploding, inside the ring the battle looks even crazier. On one side, you have Tommy Fury, faster, sharper, technically trained, calm under pressure, and confident that EddieHall's giant muscles won't save him once real punches start landing. Tommy believes skill beats size every single time, but on the other side stands EddieHall, a literal powerhouse with terrifying raw strength. Experts warned that Eddie doesn't need perfect technique to end the fight. He only needs one clean right hand, 1 second, one mistake, and everything could change instantly. That's what makes this fight dangerous. Some analysts believe Tommy Fury will outbox him easily and turn the fight into a technical masterclass. Others believe EddieHall's brute force and unpredictability make him one of the most dangerous opponents Tommy has ever faced. And then there's the pressure, the emotions, the family drama, the ego clashes, the constant tension threatening to explode at any moment. This is no longer just a boxing match. It's skill versus chaos. Technique vs raw power. Control versus emotion. And now the entire combat sports world is divided. So tell me honestly, when that bell rings, who are you backing? Tommy Fury's boxing IQ or EddieHall's terrifying knockout power?
More of it, that's for sure. And everybody needs to show some respect to each other. And let's see what the fight where it should happen in the ring on Saturday.
Warren strongly disagreed with this kind of disruptive behavior, pointing out that the rude fight between JohnFury and EddieHall had added unnecessary drama to the boxing world. He told them how angry he was and said that since both sides had apologized, the problem should be over. However, the tension between JohnFury and EddieHall had grown to a point where it could no longer be ignored. Warren made it clear that this sideshow shouldn't take away from the main event. He said that the real focus should be on Tommy Fury versus EddieHall, not on the emotional reactions happening outside the ring.
It's not what we want. I don't want to see that happen. No one does. But I understand now both sides have made it up. They've apologised. So hopefully it's all in the past and we can concentrate.
JohnFury hit EddieHall hard, making him yell because he couldn't stand all the noise and chaos outside the ring. Hall told the Fury camp straight out that they were just talking points and nothing else. His clear criticism of their aggressive behavior sent a simple message: stop arguing with words and show your skills where it counts. In the ring, with no more excuses.
I was just so fed up. I was trying to get in nowhere with these guys. I'm like, look, you talk the talk. You fucking walk around headbutting and smacking people and punching windows and whatever else. I said, well, why don't you guys fucking put your...
Even though Tommy Fury tried to calm things down, he quickly said that he wasn't the cause of the anger. Instead, JohnFury and EddieHall were at odds with each other. He admitted that his only reason for being involved was his father, making the fight seem like a personal grudge that had spread to work. No matter what the people thought, EddieHall's actions against the Fury family led to this fight.
At the end of the day, the real beef is between Eddie and my dad. You know, that's genuinely what has happened here. I'm only doing this fight because of my dad. So the real beef is between Eddie and my dad, and I'm obviously just stepping up to the plate. Tyson's on a different stratosphere. Basically, Eddie was having a pop between all the Furies. You know, he wanted to fight.
Johnny Nelson made a clear decision and pointed out that JohnFury often loses his temper and gets too emotional in stressful situations. Nelson thought that John had finally given in to the mounting pressure, which made him take responsibility for what he had done. Now that the first fight is over, Everyone is wondering if JohnFury will be able to control himself in similar situations in the future.
Now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him at the authority.
Eddie Hearn said that the fight between the two sides got out of hand. He said that it should never have gotten so personal and mean. He did, however, stress a truth about fighting that is based in reality. Even though they are very chaotic, these kinds of explosive times usually get a lot of attention and excitement from the public. He saw that what looks like chaos outside the ring is often what gets people interested inside it, even if the crowd doesn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it.
Simon Jordan didn't hold back when he said that JohnFury's actions were violent, rude, and totally wrong. He said that this kind of behavior shouldn't come as a surprise, pointing to John's experience and saying that chaos has always been a part of fighting. In Jordan's mind, these actions are no longer shocking. They are just a normal part of JohnFury's personality when he is feeling very passionate about something.
I mean, it's boorish, thuggish, unedifying, unpalatable, uncouth, vulgar behaviour. Absolutely. But what do you expect from JohnFury? I mean, JohnFury's been in prison for gouging someone's eyes out. What did you expect him to do? Convert into a Samaritan? Is it a nice look? No. Was it a nice look over the years in boxing about so many things? This ridiculous sentimentalising of society and expecting everyone to behave in their best...
Even harder, Carl Froch scolded JohnFury harshly for acting like a street thug and then laughed it off as if it were nothing. It was very hypocritical of him to act violently and make threats of violence, but then to later brush the whole thing off as a joke. Froch made it clear that he was sick of all the chaos by telling John to step aside and stop throwing bad vibes into the whole fight promotion.
Like a thug in a disgusting manner, and then he's able to just laugh it off and joke it off and say, you know what, anyone comes near me, they're going to get a headbutt. So it's kind of justified what he's done. He's been vindicated for what he's done, as in, yeah, it's okay to go around like that and behave like an imbecile, and then still laugh and joke and still threaten to headbutt me in belly. I've told you what I think about headbutting this too. You know that.
Tommy Fury went into the fight clearly sure of himself. He attacked EddieHall's biggest weakness by saying that a strong chin is something that people are born with, while huge muscles can be built. He made it clear that he wanted to draw attention to this weakness in the fight. It was clear what the lesson was: size and strength don't matter if you can't defend yourself. In a brave move, Tommy is spreading the idea that this fight will come down to technique, timing, and Eddie's ability to take real hits.
Take it seriously. Now, I expect Tommy to pretty much do what he wants with him if he can get, Eddie to relax a little bit after the first, second, and maybe third round. Because as big as Eddie is and as athletic as he is, he can't box very much. He's not a great boxer. He swings for the bleachers. He's got great power, obviously, and he's a good athlete. Like, he's a really good quick twitch athlete. But even in the Hafthor Bjornsson fight, I can't even believe we're referencing this in terms of a Tommy Fury fight, but even in that fight, I know Eddie had like one arm because he had a shoulder messed up, but Thor outboxed him and stuck a left hand on him. He was the southpaw. It was tricky, but hey, listen, and Tommy is not like a high-level operator, but he better be high.
The study basically said that Tommy Fury should be able to take over the fight once he gets comfortable, which would make EddieHall slow down after the first few rounds. It was said that Eddie's biggest problem is that he clearly doesn't know how to box because he mostly uses raw force instead of refined technique. Eddie had a hard time adapting when he was up against more experienced boxers, as shown by historical cases. It's clear what it means. This fight will not turn into a dangerous, chaotic brawl if Tommy stays calm. Instead, it will become a technical mismatch.
Fun event, and you take it for what it is. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in it. I wouldn't want to be across the ring from this fella, but notwithstanding, I'm quite happy for Tommy Fury to get.
Simon Jordan called the whole show pure entertainment, comparing it more to a fun show than to real fights. He admitted that EddieHall's intimidating size made him hesitant to fight someone in the ring, showing genuine respect for Hall's size. However, he said in a controversial way that he was looking forward to seeing Tommy Fury take a big blow. This showed how controversial this upcoming fight is, as it combines sport, chaos, and complete uncertainty.
Tommy is obviously a boxer. Eddie can fight as well, though, to be fair. So, yeah.
You train with both of them, though.
What's
the skills? What's the breakdown for this?
Tommy's been boxing all his life, so you would think that the edge should go to Tommy, but Eddie can.
FrankWarren stressed that this fight has gotten a lot of attention for both good and bad reasons, and that it's more than just exciting. It could mean life-changing money for the people involved. He stood by his advertising choices by saying that he wouldn't think twice about putting a boxer in a high-risk, high-reward situation if he thought they could win. Warren thinks that getting ahead in your job and taking advantage of opportunities is more important than making waves. He also talked about the fight as a big time when big risk meets big gain. He stressed that, despite all the chaos going on around them, success in boxing comes down to timing things right, seizing opportunities, and having complete faith in their fighter.
Attention for various reasons, and they're getting. I mean, Tommy's getting life-changing money, and you know, I can't knock that. You know, you're in the ring; it's a dangerous place to be, and you know, my job is if I see a fight that I feel we can win, and I'll put him into it, then I'll do that, and it gets him, you know, gets him further up the ladder. Not only do I think he can win it, I think, you know, obviously you know, this is a high-profile fight, but he's getting a truckload of money for it. So, you know, it's...
Dave Allen gave a very honest opinion. He said that he liked both of the people involved, but that he still thought the match was more like a show than real fighting. He said it was a part of modern boxing's circus age, where boxers from all walks of life fight for fun rather than strict sporting ethics. Even though he wasn't sure about the idea, he said he would still watch it because it was interesting and would get his attention. His words reveal a bigger truth that is common in fighting right now. Fans may question whether or not it's true, but the draw of the story and the entertainment value are too great to ignore.
Watch it. Of course I'll watch it. I like Tommy Fury a lot. I'm a Tommy Fury fan. EddieHall. I'm an EddieHall fan. I like the world's strongest man. A lot of respect for him. So of course I'll watch it. I'll watch it as a spectacle in it. It's part of the new bit of circusry that's come into boxing. All these exhibitions, different people from different sports coming in. But for all intents and purposes, as a boxing match, what a load of bollocks. Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't like it too much. But I'll watch it because it's like it's interesting in lots of ways, and I think people find.
Dillian White was honest about Eddie Hall's sheer size and natural lack of predictability. He said that anything is possible with Hall's huge size and raw muscle, even though he is clearly less skilled in fighting. White still thinks Tommy Fury will win because of his knowledge and well-honed skills, but he knows the fight isn't over yet. In his view, the fight is good for business and style, but Eddie's raw power makes it always dangerous. So, this fight is about more than just technique. It raises the basic question of whether skill can hold off chaos long enough to take control.
Eddie, when I sparred Eddie, he was 140 kg. I don't know how much he's gonna have to be for Tommy, but Tommy should win, innit? Like, he should win. But Eddie Hall, who knows? It makes sense for Tommy, innit? It's a good fight. It's a good fight.
Dave Allen was shocked and laughed as he talked about how strange it felt to see a strong man like Eddie Hall fight Tommy Fury in a boxing ring. He questioned the matchup's dynamics, suggesting that it was probably driven by a large business factor behind the scenes, with big money on the line for both sides. He did say that the fight was entertaining, but it was clear from the way he spoke that he did not think it was traditional boxing. Instead, he saw it as a crossover show where personalities, money, and how well you can promote are just as important as what happens in the ring.
Man, amazing. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. He's fighting Tommy Fury. I thought they were mates. They probably are mates. They're probably looking to fucking fight.
Wade Clemens gave a thorough analysis of Eddie Hall's inherent danger, pointing out that his timing and sheer brute force make him very dangerous even when his technique isn't very good. He gave a very strong warning. Eddie Hall could completely change the course of the fight if he closes the gap and hits with his right hand. Clemens did point out that Hall relied too much on power hits instead of crisp basics, which let Tommy Fury control the distance and outbox Hall. The general warning is still strong, though. Eddie doesn't need things to be perfect. He only needs one precise link to turn the tide around totally.
A lot more dangerous. Step in with the left foot, step with the back foot as well, and then just run that right hand. Was it a feint or did he just not get there? I mean, either way, make your punches look like feint, because he doesn't really try to land the jab. He's just showing it to him so he can get to the right hand. Bring his feet, and that's a lot more dangerous. Even arm punching, though, Eddie can crack.
Jones watched the early fights and noticed that EddieHall had already shown signs of his strength with solid combos and crisp punches. He did say, though, that Eddie would only really be dangerous if he could place his strong right hand correctly and stop throwing it around aimlessly. Getting a knockout against an opponent like TysonFury is very hard because he has to stay mobile and keep moving his feet. The main conflict here depends on when Hall moves in comparison to Fury's movement. If Eddie can close the gap in a smart way, he becomes scary. Tommy, on the other hand, will definitely win the fight if he keeps him at a distance. Eddie will not be able to land clean shots.
At least 100 pounds heavier, if not more. Probably 110, 120, maybe 130 pounds heavier than Tommy. So I'll give it to Tommy. He's got balls.
I mean, I'll be there. It's in Manchester, isn't it? I'll be there. June. It's gonna be an interesting fight. Tommy is obviously a boxer. Eddie can fight as well, though.
Wade Plemons built on Eddie Hall's technical plan and said that his best tool is keeping things simple. He told Eddie to use simple boxing moves like the jab, the overhand right, body work, and clinching if the fight got out of hand. Instead of trying to outbox TysonFury, the main goal is to throw him off balance and make the fight tough. Plemons did make it clear, though, that Tommy's better speed and ability to move more quickly, especially from a distance, would be a big problem. Eddie's whole plan depends on him being able to consistently break through that distance. Plemons thought that, if they didn't do that, Tommy would easily win the fight and give the strong man a long, stressful night.
Does win, is there a concern that he could go down that route even more, knowing how much money he can make, not challenging for British titles, European and so on?
Well, I think it's going to be very difficult to, when you, and I'm not going to the specifics of his purse, but to go from what he's earning that to come down to another level is going to be difficult unless, it is such a crossover that he is...
A much-anticipated fight between TysonFury and EddieHall has turned into a full-on fight, fueled by strong feelings, big egos, and a lot of trouble outside the ring. The build-up to the fight has been just as exciting as the fight itself, from the heated arguments about JohnFury to the brave attempts of promoters like FrankWarren to deal with what happened afterward. Analysts are still split. Some people think Tommy will win in the end because he is better at fighting, while others warn that Eddie's terrifying raw power only needs one exact moment to change the whole outcome of the fight. The psychological aspect of this event is what really makes it unexpected. Who will be able to keep their cool in the worst situations? Who will be the first to lose their cool when the fight gets heated? Lastly, this isn't just a battle of strength versus skill. There is a deep conflict between being in charge and letting chaos happen naturally. So, which side do you personally back in this war? Which is better, EddieHall's raw power or TysonFury's complex technique? Please write your ideas in the space below.